Hi, welcome back to Two Sounds One Pack.
Today we're going to take a look at this Falcon. This is a almost production unit, and we're going to tear it down and take a look at what's inside.
Let's start.
Just like the EX30, it has these honeycomb pedals. However, unlike the EX30, this is a small wheel, so having these pedals is amazing for a stock. As we take off the pedals, there's really nothing new. It's typical 5mm grub screw. Now that the pedals are removed, let's remove this foam or power pad. Now the good thing is that Begode started putting Velcro stock, so you don't have to do Velcro yourself. Plus it's pre-cut nicely, so you can just rip these off and put on any power pad you want. Now I believe this wheel is like 25 kilo or 55 pounds maybe, which we could have weighed it, but I want to weigh these power pads and see how heavy they are. Okay, before I take apart the wheel, probably a lot of people are wondering whether it's actually 25 kilos. Let's find out. So this is without the pedals and without the pads. So it looks like 48.9 pounds or almost 49. And then the pedals bring it up to 51.7. And the pads bring it up to a exact 55.3. So there's no lying here, it's 25 kilos. But if you remove the pads, you basically save 4 pounds. So it looks like to get to the fun, juicy electronics, we're going to have to remove this front handlebar. So if you ever get a blown control board, you got to remove this piece. Now it looks like this is held on by 3 screws on each side. Let's go ahead. Like some long screws. A spacer block. The space is the gap between the battery box and the front handle. Just like that, we remove the front bar. The screw's still kind of stuck. So even though the wheel is only 55 pounds, looks like the mudguard is still metal, not plastic. The headlight is adjustable based on these 2 screws. And the mudguard is very similar to the ET Max, where it looks like, however, it looks like this is metal. So metal, 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 instead of the acrylic that's used on the ET Max. And you can see the 900 watt-hour sticker right there. It's a bit dirty because I wrote it a little bit. But this mudguard is full metal, just like the A2. And this hook here is to keep the trolley handle down. So to release it, you'll pull this and fill up the trolley handle and put it down and you squeeze it on. Now let's open up this top part and see what's inside. Man, this Velcro job is so clean. I'm liking it. Maybe we can stop buying Velcro in the future. Wow, that's so clean. So it doesn't look like it has a smart BMS. I believe it's just a regular BMS or distribution board. You can see the taillight here wrapped around. And if you look over here, actually, Christine, you'll see that there's a lot of dirt from riding, but none of it passed the seal. And on top of the seal, which is also inset so that the seal doesn't run away on you, there's actually this lip on the control board holder to prevent any sort of water to come in. And from what I hear, I believe that this is IP67 rated and it actually went through certification. So that's a definite plus. I'll link the report somewhere in my description. You can see the tag here for 50S cells. The beauty of 50S cells is because they're higher discharge. We can do smaller wheels like these. Everything is all siliconed. That's the power button. I guess if you need to replace that, it might be a little bit of a pain, but power buttons rarely break. You have the charge port coming in here. Let's remove the display. Now these screws are kind of reminding me of the way the Master Pro board used to be mounted. Some silicone holding it out. Break it. There you go. That's the whole board. It's a cute little display board. Nothing fancy about that. And now you have the control board. It's interesting. I noticed that on some newer Begode wheels, they've changed their Bluetooth chip to this new one. It looks like the reception might be a little bit better from my experience, but what the differences are, I don't know. Yobo. Yobu. So I got, let's take this all out here. 5 capacitors. This is such tightly packed. So, I don't break that connector. I might have to snip it. There you go. More. Yeah, because of silicone. I don't put too much pressure on the connector itself. So I can cut the silicone in, it'll give us easier time. There you go. Yellow, blue, green. Those are as tight as it gets. And it looks like there's a cord here. So you can see these nubs here. This is for adjusting the suspension damping. So I believe it's clockwise is more damping, and both of the screws control compression and rebound damping. So when you're doing this, just making sure that you kind of tune it. Now, it is in a bit of an not a really good location because of the fact that you do have to remove the control board cover to access it. But it is one of those things that once you set it once, you most likely won't have to change it ever again. So that's a good thing because you're not going to be hitting 6-foot drops or large black diamond trails on a Falcon. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I won't. You can see that all the battery cables are following the ET Max with these beautiful seals. Well, NY60 cables and all the batteries are normal, what we're used to. The output side that goes to the controller is only an XT60, but keep in mind this is a small wheel, so the connectors are not the limiting factor here. But everything is all perfectly well sealed. Now, I'm not sure why they had to put this into a little divot. I think if this was raised, it'd be good too, because then if water did come in, it would kind of settle in the charge port and it would settle on the control board area. But that is also where the heatsink lies, and the heatsink is decently thick, so even if you put it on the island and you look at it, the control board is still higher than the surface. Unlike the A2, we won't be putting this in water or riding it in a lake to test. And I believe this taillight looks like it's just siliconed in place, which is not ideal, but
This is a taillight?
this is the taillight, yeah. But being that, you know, it's inside the wheel, it's protected from water, and it doesn't really move, the probability of damage is very, very low. So that's perfectly fine in my books. Now each battery is held on by 2 screws, as you can see up here. So it looks like we're going to have to remove the nub off of these suspensions and then unbolt the control board holder.
What do you call that?
Distribution board. It looks like the suspension's kind of held together by these pieces as well as this bottom piece. There are some guide rods here that you can see for the suspension. Also short screws. There you go. So it looks like we'll have to release these 2 nuts, those 4 screws, and then we'll remove the battery boxes, and hopefully we can lift this top plate right off the wheel. There you go. There you go. Now these look kind of small. Looks like maybe 2.5 millimeter. Perfect. Looks like they use Loctite in all the really key areas. Now we're going to take out the bolts that hold on the batteries. Oh, these are short. Part of me expected them to be longer. Looks like the side of things held by silicone. Maybe. Yes, silicone. There you go. No. Wait, it's gonna go. Ooh. Like, how do they assemble it? Oh, more cable. So many cables and seals.
It's good to have seals.
It's only a complaint because I'm trying to take it apart, but I like the seals when I'm riding it. Now my thumb being injured doesn't really help me that much in this regard. But there it goes. Maybe I should have handed. I have to train my thumb to get better. It almost looks like a weight savings / heat sink. I guess it doesn't generate that much heat, so maybe it doesn't need that much of a heat sink. But they kind of bore out everywhere that wasn't important and kept the center brace. It looks really good. Super clean. So the springs are kind of like the coilover. And these are a lighter spring. So when I rode it, it was a bit soft. You can see me kind of compressing it by hand there. But I was told that they are coming out with a heavier spring that is 25% heavier. So for those heavier riders, they won't bottom out as often. It was a very cush ride. I also did not adjust the damping when I rode it yet because I didn't want to take it apart. So before I put it back together, I will go ahead and adjust the damping just to make sure I don't bottom out. If you do want to change the spring though, it looks like it's quite a bit of work. Now you might be able to do it from the other way. So if I do find out an easier way while we disassemble this, I will talk about it when we do the tire change because it looks like the process would be similar. It's a very pretty looking shock. Is it to prevent bottoming out? Let's measure it. I was told that it's a 60 mil suspension, so I guess, yeah, the black bar is where it's bottoming out. So once you get to this point, that's the end. So this wheel does have the real 60 or even 61 millimeter suspension. Looks cool. Let's weigh them. 2.3 pounds.
With the spring?
The springs are pretty light, but with the spring, 3 pounds. Basically 2.9, 3 total. Now I'm going to remove these 6 screws and see if we can lift the battery packs away from the pedal hanger. So it has these 2 pads so that when you do bottom out, you will not hear a clunk. So it follows the kind of the Commander Mini style suspension, which these are the guide rollers so that it doesn't flex out of shape. And then it does have this beautiful metal structure that's very similar to the Commander Pro, but not really, because this is not that cheap sheet metal that could break by looking at it. So that brings us to the end of the Falcon teardown. What do you think?
A lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to kind of analyze and see what the easiest way to do a tire change on this beast is. But no, it's very well built.
How beautiful it is.
It is. It's cute.
Inside is very beautiful.
And even these pieces are quite strong, so I wouldn't be worried about it breaking, you know? It's a very solid build, mainly, I think, basically all metal.
Should we dump this piece into the water?
Dumped the motor into the water? I mean, it's a full metal, basically full metal. I don't think there was any plastic, really, that I can remember. Full metal design.
I think so, yeah.
It goes 50 kilometers an hour. Actually weighs 25 kilos, as per stated on the sheet, which, you know, usually is not very accurate. And overall, it's very solid. The only thing is the springs are a little bit soft, and the springs might be hard to change. The damping system is great. Rebound and compression damping are tuned in one knob. The only thing with that is that it's covered by the control board.
You need to open
So you got to
up.
open it up in order to adjust the damping. But if you do adjust it once for your weight, then you should never have to touch it again. So that's a plus, I guess. But overall, it's a great little small wheel. I'm excited. I mean, I'm even excited that the pads weigh, was it 3 pounds or 4 pounds? So if you remove the stock pads and you throw on a set of baby Grizzlas or...
Oh, they're going to be a lot lighter.
It'll be a lot lighter, yeah, exactly. So you might even get down to 50 pounds or 52 pounds. The only thing is by removing the pads, you do sacrifice a little bit of protection for the orange handlebar.
I don't like the orange.
The color? Yeah, I mean, the only thing is if you change the color of the handlebar, the rim will always be orange unless you paint that too. But I think for a small wheel, it's okay because it's kind of like, it's so small, it kind of grabs a little bit of attention. At least it's not like the S16 where like the battery boxes and suspension and the trolley handles all orange. This one is manageable. This is just the rim and the handle. And in the worst case scenario, if you want to paint the handle, you can go ahead and paint the handle. Yeah. It's not too hard.
Do it black.
Yeah, I mean, with all the more hardcore wheels, I think they're going to go black. I mean, this trolley handle is quite nice because it is rounded. And the motor cable is also orange, just to match everything together. The waterproofing is quite well done. I like the fact that it actually is IP67 and not Begode special waterproofing.
So it's better than the A2.
I mean, it actually has a rating. They actually got it rated.
What is better or not then?
Well, you have Begode special waterproofing, and then this one you have standardized IP67 waterproofing.
So I guess you decide if it's good or not.
Either way, we're still not riding into a lake. That's one and done. But if you guys have any questions, I guess.
Last time we put the A2 into a bucket for an hour, right?
Yeah, we did.
A bucket of water.
Yeah. I'm not doing it this one. If we get enough views or enough likes or enough comments, maybe we'll do it. What do you think? Like 5,000 views?
That's easy.
What, 10,000 views?
Maybe.
Or maybe thumbs up.
Sure.
Okay, how many thumbs up?
I haven't done video for a while. It's been
I don't
how
know.
a year?
Say 1,000. 1,000 thumbs up. I think is that easy? 2,000?
I don't know. Let's check it out. Check it out the history. Let's do 1,000.
Okay, 1,000 thumbs up, and we'll throw it into a bucket of water for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to ride it in the lake?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go back to the lake.
Summer is coming.
It's getting warmer. 1,000 thumbs up. We'll throw into a bucket of water and ride it in the lake and film the video for that. And then we'll take it apart on a live stream, just so there's no movie magic going on.
Sure.
Yeah?
Do it. Do it. Do it.
It's in your hands now.
It's in your thumb.
It's in your thumbs. So that's a wrap. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to know about this specifically, write it down in the comments. I know we haven't been around for the last like 4, 5, 6 months, but we are back. So we will reply to comments that are left on the Falcon.
All right. Like.
Subscribe.
Ding dong, ding dong. See you soon again. Bye.